there's such a great book that I'm reading and rereading called Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks. And the whole point of the book and how this relates to investing and mindset, the whole point of the book is that in your life, you're going to be the best at what you do for a certain period of time, depending on the career you're in. And as you get later in life, you gain a different set of skills. You gain a set of wisdom. And maybe that strength that got you to be able to build the business or the career that you have created is not going to be the same on that next chapter later in life. And I bring this up because I think it's so important for everybody, whether you're young, whether you're in the middle of your career, whether you're at a later stage of it, to be aware that that change is coming so that you can prepare for it and be open to what's next. Because as we're talking about creating the life you want, whether that's through investing, through business, through your career, you have to be aware of what those different chapters look like. And Brandon, you're at a point in your career where you made a lot of money, you had a lot of fun, you made a lot of impact, and now you're at that next chapter. How have you gone about looking at sharing that wisdom that you created to help other people along the path? Because this seems to be a common theme as people move to that next chapter to be able to help the next generation move their way up.
And you know, there's a lot of people just living a lot longer. There's another book called Transitions, which is another great book, these moments of time. But, you know, I'm working on a fourth book. I'm doing ride-alongs with police, and I'm writing a book about living with a police officer and talking about urban policing and the difficulties of it and how we need to all adjust so we don't keep having the problems we have in inner cities like they're having now. That's causing a tremendous disruption in our country. Most importantly, causing us to have a little bit of a lack of the being safe. I mean, after your health and your family, being safe is critical. You know, you don't want your kids to go to school. You don't want to go get on a train and not be safe. And we need our police at their best. And we need to figure out how to get them to be their best at the same time, having people in these inner cities and these communities to be okay too. Their voices need to be heard. So, you know, I'm out in police cars in the middle of the night, driving around, seeing what the hell's going on. Extremely dangerous, a little crazy, but I'm hoping I can come up with a compelling story that can make a difference. The other thing is, like, I've been doing this for a while, but all my books, you know, I've written 3. This is the 4th, and all my speaking, part of that money goes to different charities. At this point, this company, everything we do has a charity component. I can afford to do that. So, you know, I mean, I'm a good fundraiser. I'm not that great on the hands-on. Like, my wife goes, she helps kids read. She goes to a food bank once a week. I'm just not good at that. You know what I mean? But I'm good at raising money for the food bank and getting them a bunch of, you know, truckloads of food. And so I'd rather go do that. I'd rather go help a lot of the athletes I've worked with. I'm trying to drive their charities. When I speak, I always incorporate a charity component as part of my fee. And,
but I think what you're doing every time you speak, Brandon, you're sharing wisdom. I mean, you made a business that was valued at $50 million. You sold $50 million worth of dirt. You built something that was extraordinary. And although you're at a new chapter, I mean, every time, even in the little quips that you're sharing here is going to help somebody else move to the next level. So when it comes to deciding to go at this again, I mean, you've probably made it. Maybe you had a different expectation of how much money you were going to make. And I see you nodding along. So what is it that really gets you wanting to get back in the saddle and not just kick back and enjoy all the money that you made?
You know, enjoying all the money you make. Like, if you think I was waiting for this moment to do that, that would be very foolish, because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So, you know, I'm not a money guy. Like, the money, you know, I like winning the game. You make money to win the game. The game gets played in business. You want to win. You want to make money. But, you know, after a while, you realize that money doesn't get you happiness, but it will decrease your unhappiness. It will decrease some of the stuff that's bothering you. I mean, I can go to a doctor a lot easier, get a slightly better hotel room, maybe sit in the first class. But, you know, for me, like, I love the business. I love the business I created. I love the industry and the impact I've had. I love what I could do with kids, the impact of the stuff that I create and the things I do, and the wow for kids, even if it's bringing players. I do a lot of kid stuff because that's how my mind works, like an 11-year-old, is enthusiastic, curious. So I love thinking like an 11-year-old, and I love doing a lot of stuff for 11-year-olds, even though it's not the most money-making part of it, because I always feel like that's my future customer too. So I'm always thinking like an 11-year-old, because once I feel like I've connected with them, it keeps me kind of fresh and it keeps me young. I like the business. I work really hard to be the best at what I do, and I think that when you work really hard to be the best at what you do, the goal one day is not have to do it. When you're really good at it, I'm really good at something. Then I enjoy doing it because I'm really good at it. But I tell you, the people that are listening out there, is that it's really important to find hobbies. It's really important to differentiate yourself a little bit. And I've been trying. I've been trying for like 15 years. One of the reasons I wrote my last book, been trying to find hobbies other than I'm really good at making money and I'm really good at the sports stuff. I play guitar, play a lot of basketball. I definitely have figured out a way to do more stuff, like going to museums, concerts with my wife. Used to not be my favorite thing, stuff like that.
To really distill that down, in case anyone in the audience missed it, I mean, that belief is a really powerful belief. It's not about the money. It's about playing the game. I'm a guy who I love playing the game. I'm trying to learn hobbies. I'm a little bit younger than you, but I haven't really been focused at all. Everything's been about business. Everything in my whole life has been about business, and it's been fun. But yet there's a part of me who, had an experience a few years ago where I lost someone really close to me. And that made me realize, like, oh, we don't know how long we have. And sometimes we can end up focusing all of our energy in things that don't actually matter. But when you think about it from that belief that I'm hearing from you, it's the game, right? You're in it because you love playing it. And however you can keep playing it is the way to fully live your life to the fullest.
But here's Rich, and here's where the high level of success gets you.
Yeah. That
really important. It gets you. I don't do business with people I don't like. I don't do business with people that break my chops. And I don't do business where they're not going to appreciate the work, the creativity, and the services that myself and my company provide. Whereas before, I had a number to hit. If it made me enough money, I would suck wind. I'd do it. And I would say, okay, I've just got to grind it out and do it. Now I don't have the tolerance for it. If you break my chops, I'll give you a warning. And then next time I'm just blocking you. And I'm saying, look, let me give you a couple of numbers to call some people that can help you. I'm not your guy. And I don't have a problem with it. Okay. Because I'm making money from people I haven't even met. You know what I mean? It's not like, wow, I go home. I said, honey, I had a great day. I made a lot of money. There's the checkbook in the drawer. There's a deposit slip. And can you empty the dishwasher and maybe walk the dog right now? Like we can't go home and say, oh, honey, we have more money because our kids are going to the best schools. We have a great house. We have what we need. And matter of fact, the glass is now more than full. So, for me, it's like the difference we can make is, make sure that I don't come home aggravated. Don't come home upset. That's not allowed. That enables me to keep working. And I like that rule that my wife and I set up. Like, don't come home and start bitching. Then retire then. And that's fair. So I make sure I keep everything really positive. And then what I do is, I'm always got a charity angle on me because I know that even if things are not exactly perfect, I know that somehow somebody's getting helped out of this. Because that's why we're here. There's only two reasons why we're here. One is to grow, get better. So I'm still learning. I got a bunch of smart kids. I'm like one of these older guys that say, I love the young kids. They're smarter than me. They're a little lazy. Sometimes they need a kick in the butt, but they can get shit done so much faster than me. And they're inspiring almost, especially on the tech end. So, you got to grow, you got to learn. I'm still learning every day. So that gives me happiness. And then also you got to have gratitude. You have to increase your level of gratitude. I think that people get confused about gratitude and what that is, but happiness resides on the corner and the cross streets of happiness. Gratitude and growth. So for me, when I look at gratitude now, I say, well, it's nice talking to you on this pod, but there's a lot of things that are happening right now that enable us to have this conversation. And I spend more time now digging a little deeper on that. Instead of just saying, oh, we had a nice call. It's nice we got this computer thing that we're able to talk with each other. But now I know there's a lot of people responsible for even setting this up. Somebody introduced me to you. Somebody's going to take this thing and edit it. Somebody's going to post it. There's a whole bunch of things that are happening. My level of gratitude is so much higher. And if anything, I'm just mad at myself for not even having a higher level of gratitude earlier on. But I can't fix that. But I don't let a day go by without thanking the people that enabled my day to be great today. and really showing that gratitude.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to watch another, here's one up top. And here's another great video right down below.